Hey, welcome back to another daily reset. This is Ollie, Hermon-Taylor. So I want to unpack a few thoughts today. Cheers, by the way. In his book, The 5 a.m. Club, it's by Robin Sharma. If you haven't come across his books, he's written books like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, The Leader Who Had No Title, The Wealth Money Can't Buy. He's written lots and lots of books. This is my favourite, The 5 a.m. Club. This is a really powerful book. It's a thick, deep book, and I've got this, printed version, but I've also got the audio book. And I read this every day, or listen to, and often both, every day. So I often have the audiobook playing on loop, and when I'm in the gym working out, when I'm in the car driving, I'm filling my brain with the concepts. There's a lot in here. There's kind of like a life's worth of study and personal development, and it really powerful, deep lessons for transformation in this book, and I absolutely love it. I recommend it to a lot of people. Some of the concepts in here that are really powerful, and one I want to talk about today is what Robin calls cyber zombies. So he talks a lot about cyber zombies, and that we have created a culture of cyber zombies who are addicted to digital distraction. And this is something I think about a lot because I'm kind of turning into a bit of a content creator, for want of a better expression. So I make content daily on digital platforms, primarily Instagram, and I tend to do stories. But I work with a coach. I have mentors and coaches in my life. Even though I am a coach, I am a mentor. I still work with other coaches and mentors. And I have done for many years. I was thinking about this last night. Over the last 15 years, I've spent a lot of money on kind of personal development coaching and learning skills and being in masterminds and being in coaching groups and working one-on-one with mentors. And over the last 10 years in particular, I think I've been involved in some kind of program or group pretty much continuously, different ones, but continuously for 10 years, because I'm committed. I'm committed to trying to unlock my greatness, let's say, in a way that Robin Sharma describes it. But also, I'm committed to creating what I call a freedom machine. And this is a dream and a vision I have in my life of a really powerful, purpose-driven business that has a big impact on the world, that really helps people, that makes a contribution, that is not extractive or exploitative, so it's conscious capitalism model, but also brings me a good income and allows me, most important of all, freedom of time, location, thought to express myself. So that's what I have been building over the last 20 years pretty much, and I've had different versions of the Freedom Machine. But there's one I'm currently building that is the one that I feel I'm most aligned with. The other ones have almost like been experiments and build-ups. But anyway, back to the digital distraction. So I create content because I have a message to share. But I also have a real kind of love-hate relationship with all of these platforms and all of these tools, and in particular the social media platforms. So the short form content of TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but a lot of people consume on TikTok and Instagram. And the dominant way of communicating with people and getting your message across is to make reels, basically. And what are reels? They're little bite-sized, 90-second maximum nuggets of information. The problem is, I talk about them being like junk food for your brain. They're like empty calories, because 90 seconds is not enough time to go deep. It's not enough time to unpack any depth and any meaning and convey anything that is going to really help you. And often it'll hook you. And if to have a reel that works, that is successful, that gets enough engagement, you have to hook. You have to grab attention. You have to interrupt people's sort of cyber zombiness, their distraction, and you have to kind of like basically shout at people, get them to come and watch your reel, and then you have to try and deliver some engaging, deep thing in, whatever 60 seconds you've got left or whatever. And I think it's a problem. I have a real problem with creating that kind of content. On the one hand, I have a coaching business that I want to grow and I want to reach people. I want to share my message because everybody is on social media. The overwhelming truth is everyone of all ages, doesn't matter what job you have, or you're an entrepreneur, a CEO, a senior executive, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mum, employed, self-employed, it doesn't matter. literally everybody is on these social media platforms. And so I make content to reach people, but I don't like making that kind of content because it's slightly manipulative in the sense you've got a hook, you've got to grab, but also it just doesn't give me any depth. And I like to go deep, and I like to unpack concepts and actually try and give people teaching points and stuff that's useful, like valuable, useful information that you can use, tools you can use in your life, concepts you can use in your life. And I don't know about you, but they require a little bit of time. And in particular, they require attention, the ability to pay attention. And there is research out there that with all the different social media platforms that emerge, and then the different content formats that emerge, people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. You know, it used to be like 20 minutes, then it became sort of 10, then 8, then 3. Now it's 90 seconds. And in fact, 90 seconds or 90-second reel is too long. So really, you know, it's like, 30 seconds. The point being, digital distraction and this generation of cyber zombies that we're becoming and that we're raising, I think is doing a huge amount of damage to people's mental health, to people's happiness, but also to people's productivity. Because if you are distracted all of the time, your attention is shallow and it is fractured, and you're hopping from one thing to the other, you're not able to create. You're not able to create anything with meaning. You're not able to create content and work with value. You're not able to create stuff with depth. And I think that's what people really need. That's what the world needs. We need deeper, better conversations. We need deeper, better leaders. But we're caught up in this strange moment of history where everyone has become addicted to digital distraction, entertainment, like mindless bullshit that we are having piped down our kind of throats, I was going to say, but, you know, into our brains from these platforms. And these platforms have so much power over us. They really hold a lot of sway and a lot of power over people. And so I think it's really important to think about, are you a cyber zombie? Have you been turned into a cyber zombie? How do you use social media? How do you use your, I'm recording on it so I can't pick it up. How do you use your smartphone, your device? And how often do you check it? How much does it rule your life, and how much do you control it? So one thing I started doing about 15 years ago when I first read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, which is up on that bookshelf somewhere, is I started to control the device and people's access to me rather than the other way around. So my phone is permanently in do not disturb mode. That, you know, you've got those different modes. It's permanently in do not disturb. And I only have certain people on my favorites. And I hope none of them are listening, but that doesn't include any clients. Okay, because I want to control when people can have access to me and when they can't. And I think a very important thing to do if you're a business owner, a coach, is to train and educate your clients about the rules of the game, the rules of engagement, and when they can contact you and when they can't. Because otherwise, if you have these devices, people have 24-hour access, 24/7 access, and it's very damaging, and I think it drives a lot of stress and anxiety. If you're available all of the time, what signal does that send to other people about how much you value your time, your space, your personal space, your time with your family? So you've got to set the rules of engagement. And so one thing I would advise is think about whether you're a cyber zombie. Think about how much digital distraction plays a role in your life. How much content are you consuming? How regularly do you check your phone? How much does it distract you and interrupt your day? Do you find yourself surfing and scrolling through mindless BS that's rotting your brain? Because you were never designed, the human brain, you know, we've been evolving this kind of brain for millions of years. And obviously modern humans have been around for what, you know, couple of 100,000 years, but the brain technology is quite ancient. It was never ever designed to be exposed to this much information and this much fast-moving, small, bite-sized, short attention span information. So that's enough of the preaching. I'm passionate about these topics, and so I tend to kind of go deep on them. So back to Robin Sharma, back to the 5 a.m. club. read it. I recommend you read it or listen to it. I think there's more power in the written word, printed written word, okay? And you'll be able to absorb and spend more time and take it in a less distracted way, which is the whole thing we're talking about, if you read. However, audiobooks are fantastic. And when you're driving, these things, they call found time, washing up, driving, working out. I love to have this audiobook on repeat, basically, because there's so much depth there that I could listen to it. I've probably listened to it 100 times. I could listen to it 1,000 times and I still learn new things. One of the big things is this idea of fighting back against digital distraction. Why? Because attention is really, really important for your future. You know, most of us feel stuck. A lot of us feel lost. A lot of us feel down and stuck in a rut. And often it's because we know what we want to create. We know what we want our life to be like. We know that there's deep work inside us, that we've got kind of greatness inside us, but we struggle to access it because we're so distracted and bogged down in the day-to-day minutiae of stuff and jobs and realities and families and all of these things, these demands on your time. And we often distract ourselves with entertainment to kind of numb the pain. But actually, if you can resist a digital distraction, if you can step away from being a cyber zombie, you'll be able to pay attention. And attention is a really important currency and you've got to protect it. Don't give it away to other people. And then you'll be able to do deep work. And that's the antidote more than anything to digital distraction is deep work. Shutting off all of the devices, all of the ways that people can contact you and distract you and shatter your focus. And cultivate the ability to be able to do laser focused deep work for blocks of time, like 90 minutes or so. Get into the flow state. That is how you create meaningful work. That's how you create depth. And that's how you create something that is going to have high value to the rest of the world. Whether you are working in a corporate situation or whether you are an entrepreneur or a coach and you're creating content and tools, it doesn't matter. Deep work, the flow state, is like a superpower which will help you up your level of productivity. But it's not just productivity about output. It's about doing less but higher quality. So read the book if you feel called to. Pay attention, make notes, and think about how you can start to rely less on digital distraction, your phone, social media, entertainment. Because you have greatness inside you. You have the potential to create the life you want, the business you want, a great work of art, write a book, whatever it may be, launch a business, launch a startup, launch a men's coaching circle, go and start a non-profit, like a CIC or a charity or a not-for-profit. Whatever it is that is your thing that lights you up on the inside, it doesn't matter. But if you can get clear on your definition of success and what you want in life and why you want it, then you can literally resist digital devices and distraction and protect your mind, protect your time, cultivate the ability to go deep, to pay attention, to focus, to do deep work. That's how you create those things. That's how you make those shifts. That's how you transition from being trapped in something you don't want to do, perhaps a job that feels dead end, no longer fulfills you, to launching your own thing and creating more freedom and having impact and also income as well that comes with it. That's how you do it. There's no magic formula. There's no secret sauce. It's literally like clarity, focus, and then getting into the lab, into the zone and doing that deep work. And if you do that with consistency for multiple days, like hard work times time, as a friend of mine used to say, you're going to get big, meaningful results, not shallow, low-level stuff that is kind of like mental masturbation. Deep, meaningful stuff that will add up to a brand, a business, a book, a piece of art, a startup, a not-for-profit, whatever it is, an amazing body that you want to work on and get lean and get strong and get functional and energized and pain-free. Whatever your thing is that you need to work on, you want to work on, whatever wants to emerge through you, because this is the real secret of this, is that when we're distracted and when we are off-center and we are not aligned with who we really know we are deep down inside, we tend to engage in shadow pursuits, shadow careers, and you can go and spend a whole life, waste a whole life, which is such a shame. in shadow careers, like careers that you think you should do, you're doing to tick boxes because, you're doing what's expected of you. And it leads to, at a certain stage, emptiness, lack of meaning, apathy, feeling completely lost and stuck. When you feel completely lost and stuck, my approach is to get people to unplug and to disconnect from digital devices and reconnect to themselves. Get outside, spend time in nature, actually stop hustling, stop trying to force solutions, stop trying to find answers, and just create space, because those answers will come, they'll drop in, clarity will come. And really it's about getting back in touch with what you know you want to do, who you are, what is wanting to emerge from you deep down inside. We all have that inner guidance, that inner spark. It may have burnt right down to a little glowing ember, but you can fan that, you can fan the flames again, you can rekindle that inspiration. So the most powerful thing you can do is resist digital distraction. Basically do the opposite of what everyone else does in our culture. Oscar Wilde said, "Everything popular is wrong." I love that quote because there's truth in it. So if you can kill off the distraction, the resistance, the fear, unplug, get back to your center, get aligned with who you are and why you're here, tap back into that deep sense of purpose and mission that is inside you somewhere. You've just got to peel away the layers, wash away the layers of mud. As they say in kind of Eastern philosophy, the diamond is within you. There's a diamond within you at your core, which is clarity, which is purpose, which is mission, which is your gifts and your talents. It's just covered in layers of mud that we build up through our lifetime of doing these shadow pursuits and wrong things. So if you can wash away the layers of mud, then you're going to get that clarity, and then you can harness these tools of flow, deep work, focus to go and build that new life, do that new thing, launch that new project, whatever it may be. And the only way you can do that is to resist the distraction that the rest of the world will try and impose on you. So I hope you find that useful. 5 a.m. Club, get a copy. I want to do another video soon on deep work. There's a brilliant book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, which is basically the antidote to the digital distraction of the cyber zombie world. And it's research basically by a Stanford professor, I think, about harnessing the power of deep work, focus, and going like really deep with laser focus on one thing and creating meaningful work. So we'll unpack that in another episode. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. If you have given me the time and attention to watch this to the end and not get distracted and take notes and think about this, I massively applaud you, because you are a rare individual. I often wear that baseball cap that says rare, and people ask me about it. Oh, what's rare? Do you have your own brand, your own swag? Yes, I do. I created a communication agency called Rare Partners, which still exists, but I left it at the end of 2023. I left it to my other business partners. But also I have something called Rare Academy, which I retained, and the brand Rare and Rare Academy is a very personal thing. And the people I want to talk with, communicate with, hang out with, work with, coach and mentor are the rare individuals who want to resist the distraction and create something amazing in their life. Whatever that is personal to you. It doesn't matter, but get clear on that definition of success, and then be the rare individual who defies the norm and bucks expectations and creates this great life that they love. Have an amazing day.